Great. So welcome again, and you can just briefly text in the chat what is your name, where are you from? Please text in the chat. We will be glad to see all the people who are joining from different parts of the world. So this is really great. As I mentioned, today's webinar will be about how to use Wikipedia offline from our great speakers, Kate Kifa and Joshua Salazar, from representatives from Wikimedia Ukraine and Wikimedians of Ecuador. So they will share their their experience, their cases, and in general, how to use Wikipedia offline. Maybe some of the information is already something that you know about, and you can share with us more after we'll have the space after the webinar, or something maybe is very new for you. So we will be also glad if this information will be really useful. We will start with the presentation from Kate Kifa, and please, Kate, I'll give you the word to present yourself and your presentation.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Let's try if I can control the presentation. Alessa, can you please make, oh yes, it works. Yes. So perfect. Hi, everyone, welcome here. And I'm very happy to share here about the important tools that can help many of us use Wikipedia offline. So I want to ask you, did you ever need to use Wikipedia but couldn't do that because of lack of connection or because of any other reasons? And I want to say that unfortunately, today in the world, this situation happens often in many areas. And today we'll explore some key solutions, how to make it work. So the goals of the session today is to understand how different tools work, and we will check them on different devices, on both computer and smartphone. And we'll also see the real cases from different parts of the world, how these solutions have already been used. The topics that we'll cover, the topics that we will cover today, these solutions, they can be helpful due to different reasons. For example, power outages or different problems with the network, with connection with the internet. And also this can be a help if you're just traveling or in some less extreme situations where your data, for example, is limited or it's expensive. I'll focus here on some convenient tools, but make sure that be sure that there are so many other tools in the world as well. And I would love to hear your experience after on our discussion. I'm sorry. Briefly about me, I'm from Ukraine, and I currently live in Ukraine. In Ukraine, we have very often power blackouts. I work in communication, and I've been fellow to different international programs like UNESCO Human Rights Program, Sustainable Development Program, programs in different parts of the world, including some remote Australian regions, also Deutsche Welle Academy and some other programs. And I'm also ISEC alumna. I started editing Wikipedia some years ago. Most of the times I translate articles from different languages like English, French, Spanish, Italian to Ukrainian. I also explore projects like Wikisource, Wikiquote, Wikidata, and Commons. I'm passionate about gender gap, and I'm involved in some projects in Ukraine that highlight prominent women and make sure that their achievements are seen. On this picture, I'm at Wikimedia in 2024 in Poland, with ukulele being part of the ukulele of Wiki Orchestra. So why does the offline access to Wikipedia matters at all? And first of all, it's for the electricity and internet reasons. I live in Ukraine, and as I mentioned, we have very often drone attacks, missile attacks, and because of that, we sometimes don't have internet, don't have electricity for some periods of time, like a few hours or many days. And in many cities, connection can be a problem too. In different countries of the world, including European countries like Spain, Portugal, or parts of the France recently, these blackouts also happened. And we know that in the developing countries, this is also a very common problem. Also, offline access can help you when you are trying to save your data when you're traveling and the data is expensive. Third, it can help you for educational reasons when you try to do a training in the schools, in the remote places, and there is no access to Wikipedia. It can also be helpful in emergency situations, so like disaster zones, when internet is completely down, but you still can access all available human knowledge. Like you can get information on public health, on some surviving kids, or get medical treatment techniques, government laws, information about the local language or the culture or biographies of the people that you need. And most notably, offline access to Wikipedia, it can be helpful when you try to avoid censorship in different countries. As you might know, Wikipedia is blocked and banned in different countries, in certain countries, like China, Myanmar, partially in Iran, where Wikinews is blocked, and also Russia, Saudi Arabia. Also in certain countries, it has been blocked before for some time, like in Syria, Turkey, or Belarus. So offline access to Wikipedia can be actually very crucial in many cases. And today we'll talk about a few ways how you can get offline access to Wikipedia. The first way is getting access to the full entire Wikipedia offline. And this can be done with the help of software called Kiwix, a free open source software. And today we have one of the founders, Stefan, here with us. So welcome and great to have you here. So this tool is very great. It works easily on your computer, on your smartphone. The minus, like some bad moments, is that it requires a good internet when you actually download this full Wikipedia or part of the Wikipedia. And also you need a lot of space and a lot of storage on your device. So for that cases, if you don't have good internet or enough storage, we will explore another way how to get access to Wikipedia offline, which is accessing the different individual pages of Wikipedia. This way it's easier and it can be done also from your computer or from your smartphone. And so the first tool is Kiwix. It gets you access to the entire Wikipedia offline. And Olesya wanted to make a poll here. So now you can see, I hope you can see on your screen, the poll with a question. Have you ever used Kiwix? Did you have such experience? Yes, no, or just heard about it but never used. So I see we have many people who already tried Kiwix. We also have many people who don't have this experience. Sorry, probably Olesya dropped down.
Of the technical issues, I sharing right now.
Okay. Thank you very much. Did you press recording again? Yes, can we continue?
It is in progress, yes.
Okay, so what is Kiwix? Kiwix is a free open source software that lets you download and access the whole Wikipedia when you're offline. It can also help you. Oh, I'm sorry, but Alessa, I cannot move the. I cannot control. Yes, thank you. So Kiwix lets you use different collections, like libraries of Wikipedia. For example, you can download certain part of Wikipedia, like medical Wikipedia or chemistry in Wikipedia. Or it can also work with different wiki projects like Wikisource, Wikiquote, Wikinews, Wikiversity, Wikivoyage, Wikibooks, Wikispecies, and others. You can also choose between different language versions, and you can choose between topic-focused collections. The program works perfectly on your desktop and on your smartphone. Windows, Mac, Linux, Android, iOS, and also Raspberry Pi devices. And we'll explore here different ways how you can use it. The next slide, please. Thank you. So you need to understand that this program, Kiwix, it uses zim files. Zim files are highly compressed open format files, which can contain a lot of images, articles, links of Wikipedia in one single file. The minus is that they actually weight a lot. So, for example, if you decide to download the whole English Wikipedia, it might be hundreds of gigabytes. Some light editions of Wikipedia can be 20 gigabytes. Some particular collections like chemistry, they might be 20, 30 megabytes. So this is the peculiarity of these files. They might be heavy and they're available in different languages. So how to download and use the Kiwix? The process is very simple. Basically, you go to the official website or to Play Store, Mac App Store, or any other store. You get the program, install it to your device. Then you open this file, you open the program. You see different libraries that are available. You choose between these libraries, like if you want to download Wikipedia or Wikiquote or Wikisource, you get it, and then you can access it and read it offline. Here we'll see how it works on the Windows example. So you download the program from the official website, you unzip the file, you put it in your downloads, you open the program, you select the library, and you read it. And you can see how it works on the screenshots. So basically, this is the interface of the program. It is easy to use. You press on the download when you see different Wikipedias. Then they are accessible to be opened. You will see many different articles and they are presented with visual representation. You can either select one of them, all these articles, or you can use the search and type whatever article you want. And here you go, you can read it offline. This is the example for the Mac. If you have a Mac computer, you also download the DMG file, you open it, and basically it's very simple, the same process. You will have all the materials from this presentation, this recording, so you don't need to worry if it looks very complicated now. Actually, it's pretty simple, and you can do it at your own pace, at your own device. This is the Mac screenshots. With the different collections. You select the library, it's available, you open it then, you see the articles, and you read the article. Kiwix can also be accessible from your smartphone, and here you can see the Android example. If you have Android phone, you go to the Play Store, you download the application, you open it and select the library, and you read it. Here's the screenshots for Android. Basically, once you downloaded the application, you go to downloads and you can search Wikisource or Wikipedia. And you make sure that you have enough of free space in your device. And then you read the article. This is also on your iOS. It can be opened in iPhone or iPad. You download it from App Store. You open the libraries and read the articles. And this is the setup for iPhone. Again, the collections are very bright here. You can see amount of topics like basketball of Wikipedia, astronomy, Bollywood, a lot of collections, medicinal Wikipedia. Here you can see that chemistry collection is downloaded. It's only 30 megabytes, and you can see that this collection lets you read a lot of articles in the chemistry sphere. One important note here, you need to understand that when you download the whole snapshot like of Wikipedia, because Kiwix lets you kind of download the snapshot of all the information on Wikipedia on the current date. So when you download it, once in a while you need to update it, because as you know, Wikipedia is live. It is updated every day, every second, every minute. So for that, you need to make sure that once in a while you remove the old library and you get the new one, because automatically it will not be pushed into your program and updated itself. You need to do it yourself. And also a good thing is that Kiwix lets you it has additional functionality, like the ability to set up a local server where you can share the content across many devices in your local network. Also, you need to know that Kiwix is not limited only to Wikipedia projects, wiki projects. It gives you access to tons of materials in more than 100 languages, in different other educational projects like TED conferences, Gutenberg Library, and many others. Today, I will not go very deep into this, but I recommend if you like that functionality, you can dig deeper into this because it's very interesting and gives you additional benefits. Also, today we just saw that it can be used on your smartphone, on your desktop, but Kiwix can be used as a hotspot, and it can be put on the USB device, USB card, or SD card, a USB flash drive, and SD card. So because this way you can save storage on your device. Most obviously, if you don't have storage, you can put all the libraries that you want on this USB stick or on Kiwix hotspot, which usually are already preloaded with different content by Wikipedia. What's the benefit of Kiwix hotspot is that it can be used by many people in your school, for example, or in any other place. And many people can share, can replicate the content between themselves. On the next slide, I will show how this tool is already used by various projects around the world. So global implementations of offline Wikipedia, they are spread across the globe. For example, Africa, where you can see Kiwix for Schools. It's a project that is available in many countries, and it also started Kiwix for Schools mentorship program. Some other implementations of offline Wikipedia includes Antarctic expeditions, where researchers can use Kiwix and they access Wikipedia in one of the most remote regions on the Earth. Also, Senegal Navy, they use Kiwix in their training programs. They install it on their patrol ships and provide sailors with access to Wikipedia and other educational materials during some missions at the sea. Also, another interesting example is that Kiwix and offline Wikipedia is used in the US and Swiss prisons in their prison education programs. And by this, they help inmates get access to Wikipedia offline, supporting their educational initiatives. As I liked really how Kiwix mentioned on their own materials, they say that their tool can be used on a boat, in the middle of nowhere, or in jail, which is pretty interesting. And there are many more other projects in the world. Do you know any other projects or groups that can use offline Wikipedia? If so, please share it in the chat so many people can also see and know about it. And so this was, we just explored the tool that can give you access to the full entire Wikipedia offline. But what if you don't have enough space, or what if you just want to have access to one article, maybe two articles? So this way that I will show you now, it will help you to get access to only part of articles. First tool will be, it's great for using via desktop. You just download the page as a PDF, and this is the screenshot. You go to the Wikipedia website when you have internet. Then you go to the top right drop-down menu, which is called Tools. There, at the bottom of it, you can see download as a PDF. This is shown in the new current interface. If you use the old one, it will be at the left, in the column at the left and at the top down. The second option is it's easier to use on your smartphone and, for example, Android. This option lets you download the Wikipedia app for Android. There you open the article you like, for example, Frederick Chopin. You save it, you press the save button. Then you go to the saved, and in the saved, this article appears, and it is accessible for offline reading anytime you want if you don't have any connection. This can also be done on iOS. Official Wikipedia application. Again, you download it from App Store, Mac App Store, iPhone Store. Then you see article you like. You Google, for example, Cossacks, which are famous Ukrainian people who were great fighters. You save the article, and here you have it in the saved. And make sure you can test it on your phone. If you switch to airplane mode, if you don't have internet, the article will still be available for you. And again, another thing, you can also print Wikipedia articles for cases where at all, no gadgets, no electricity, nothing available. This is the project I used to consult many years ago. It's called Print Wikipedia. They were supported by Wikimedia Foundation. So many years ago, they decided to print the whole English Wikipedia, and they exhibited it in the art gallery in New York, and later they did the same in Berlin and in Ghent. So printing the whole English Wikipedia resulted in more than 100 paper volumes, and each of these paper volumes had 700 pages, which is a lot. By that, they wanted to show the amount of human knowledge accumulated. And bad thing is that once you print it, it's not relevant anymore because Wikipedia is updated anytime, like online again. So this is only a snapshot, but still it's an interesting case. Here you can see some useful resources that you can check later about Kiwix, about other projects, and some further reading about offline access to Wikipedia. And thank you very much. I hope it was helpful, and I'm giving the floor to Olesya.
Thank you so much, Kate, for such an interesting presentation. All the questions that you have to Kate, you can text in the chat, or we will have the discussion space after our second presentation, so you will be able to unmute yourself and ask your question directly. And now I'm giving the word to Joshua from Wikimedia Ecuador, and he'll tell about OfflinePedia and all the, in general, this interesting case and all his experience. So giving the word to you, Joshua, and the control of the presentation as well.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Alessia, for the nice introduction. I will just try to click if I have the access. Okay, looks like it is working. Amazing. So, yep, thank you very much, all of you people, to save some time to listen to this presentation. I'm super happy to share my experiences of using, basically for using Kiwix. Can you help me click? I am having a little bit of issues. Yeah, I will just say you click whenever I need to switch the slides. Thank you. So I named my presentation Redesigning Physical Access to Knowledge in Off-Grid Environments, the OfflinePedia project. I think that Kate gave a really nice introduction of how difficult could it be to access knowledge in off-grid environments. Like this one from the photo. This photo was taken on top of the Cotacachi Mountain, Cotacachi volcano in Ecuador. And you can see it's beautiful, beautiful life they have, very peaceful environment, but unfortunately, they lack of educational resources to get more knowledge. So can you click, please? Let me show you how why this started to worry us. So let us see some stats, the current digital wording numbers. So it's been very nice that lately in these last years the world connectivity has been growing super quickly. Unfortunately, this has been only seen, as you can see there, in the Asian continent. There is a lot still to be done in Africa and South America, and even in some parts of Eastern Europe where connectivity is super difficult to get. Up to now, we have like 2/3 of the total world population connected to the internet, but it's also complicated because it's difficult also to get a full-fledged computer to get online. Most of these numbers grew because mobile phones are getting more and more popular. But yeah, there is still this gap of feeling the abilities of the people using a full PC computer. Click, please. So yeah, here as I said, 65% of the population is still offline. There are 2 billions of people that are left behind. And also there is also a big issue that it's about the electronic waste. So I took this screenshot of 1,000 tons of electronic waste thrown out just up to midday every day around the world, and this is super worrying. And even more scary number is 18 million metric tons of e-waste are thrown away in up to just May every year. This stat was from previous year, and it really scared me because there is more electronic waste that is just being thrown and thrown away, and most of the times the silicon inside the chips is not damaged, is still useful. But the problem is that there exists this programmed obsolescence in the tech industry that force you to buy a new computer every 2, every 3, every 4 years. Also, cell phones, you have to switch your cell phone because it goes laggy, because it's getting more and more powerful, the software that you need to use. So you need to switch phones, you need to switch computers, and it's a big issue because I think that some 10, 20 years ago, these computers were super fine, at least for just reading emails. So there should be a use case for this kind of e-waste, at least for reading and writing, which is it is mainly part of the main programs of education. So click, please. So yeah, this started to worry me, and I was a science student. When I was a science student, I was really in love with science, chemistry, physics, math, because I was having in mind that those are not painful things to do. Usually when you go to school, to high school, you get more math problems to solve as a punishment even. But it is actually what we scientists use every day to build more technology, to build more solutions, to make your life more comfortable, to improve the human comfort, as I mentioned. So I was deeply in love with it. And as I wrote there, when you're deeply in love with something, you want to scream it to the world. So I used to convince my friends to gather with me some weekends or some holidays and go to the most faraway places we could and just talk about science, do science experiments, so the kids get motivated to learn more, because there was a usual cliche that was around in Ecuador. And also I can imagine that you guys can tell me if around the world is the same, that we think that people in the rural villages do not like or do not care about learning, do not care about reading, do not care about increasing the knowledge of their surroundings. But contrary from that popular cliche, we learned that people was really thirsty for knowledge in these rural villages, in these faraway places, mainly because parents really had in mind that higher education and more knowledge skills would give them better opportunities to the kids. And that was super obvious for them. And something that was a little bit shocking to me is that sometimes even in the cities, people is not thinking like that anymore. Is thinking like, again, as I said, math, chemistry, physics problems are like just a pain in the back. But in the rural zones, they really knew that these things will improve the life quality and the opportunities of their kids, of their children in the near future. Click, please. So this was the main motivation for us to go and do science communication festivals and start talking about science. But we couldn't keep going on because we didn't have educational resources to work with them. We didn't have libraries, we didn't have books, we didn't have computers. And so as I mentioned before, I started to connect the dots with the team that, okay, we have a lot of people that it's not online and we have a lot of electronic waste. And I just remembered that there was this analog to digital switch signal in Ecuador going on. So a lot of televisions were going to be thrown away. And we decided, okay, we can connect those dots and find a nice solution. And that's what we did. So we started to collect a lot of hardware and open source solutions. And we said, okay, we can try to build a minimalistic computer. If we don't have the money to build to buy a screen, we can use a TV screen. If we don't have the plastic to build a case, we can use we can repurpose an old furniture and build this. And that's what we did. And with around $100, 100 euros, one can afford a simple Raspberry Pi, some cables, some SD cards, some keyboards, and build an OfflinePedia computer. But this is just the hardware part, and even goes cheaper. If you find an old PC, old computer, you can replace the Raspberry Pi with an old computer that sometimes your neighbor is throwing away his laptop or whatever. So there is a lot of electronics waste around to use it. Click, please. So then is the software part, and here it comes the magic of Kiwix. So Kiwix is the software that Kate deeply explained it before, and it's able to make offline copies of the different branches of the Wikimedia project. So basically, now it was possible for us to transform the abstract content that it's in the cloud, flying around in Wikimedia, and all the miscellaneous academic content into a real physical device that people could access to it, can touch it, can interact with, and can learn with. So there is also no limitation to just have the Wikipedia, but also you can have thousands of the different content, academic content, like for example the Gutenberg project that has universal literature books, or the FET simulations that they have didactic simulations for learning physics and chemistry. And not just that, as the computer was based on a Linux system, basically the OfflinePedia computer serves as a platform for any kind of further projects. We had a small project with some volunteers from universities where they used to code Mathematica notebooks, Wolfram Mathematica notebooks, to do simulations with the kids, A Raspberry Pi comes with a free license of Mathematica, Wolfram Mathematica, and that was impressive. So it was not, we were not just limited of letting people read, but also letting people learn further and do even simulations, and it was fantastic. So click, please. So yep, then the recipe was like this. So we go and do science communication projects. I can show you that I can show them that we with science we can play with fire. Literally, we are doing magic, but in the real world. And so we do science communication events. Then with these motivated kids, we start building our own OfflinePedia device there. So we teach them how to connect the Raspberry Pi, how to install an image, how to install Kiwix. And later, we gather the most techie guys from the community and to teach them how to replicate it and train them how to replicate it. So in that way, we are looking forward for this idea to be spread and to share the principle that there is plenty of electronic waste, that it's not really waste, it's just waste for this modern software, but we can use it for many useful applications around. We have plenty of tutorials, unfortunately, just in Spanish in Wikibooks, but you guys can always just Google OfflinePedia and write to our social media for the experiences or extra support that you may need. Click, please. So okay, so far we've installed around 12 online PDFs for free for different rural communities, benefiting more than 1,500 people around Ecuador. Next slide, please. And also, so far, we've been trying to reach out more volunteers around the world. We were very happy to give support to the guys in the university BUIAP. They built their own OfflinePedia. They called Lovopedia. And it had a specific content dedicated for their needs. So they built it in the same way we did. They did the science communication projects, experiments in the communities. They refurbished some old tech. And then they were able to install the Lobopedias around in the communities they needed. Click, please. Also, this is the latest thing we did, and I am very happy to share this pic. This is one of our latest volunteers. He was living with me here in Austria, and he was going back to live to Gambia. And so we decided to do a small collection of electronic waste. I managed to collect some phones, some computers from my uni colleagues, from my work colleagues. And then we sent some computers there, and he was able to donate and train also a few guys there and how to work with this Kiwix and this principle that we can employ a lot of resources that are called e-waste, but in actually we can employ them to at least be able to read and write content, especially the main source of human knowledge, that is the Wikipedia. Click, please. So yeah, where next? We have a lot of people that is not connected to the internet, and this means that there is a lot of people not connected to the main source of the main source of public knowledge, human knowledge, that is the Wikipedia. There are other projects like Internet on a Box that was also mentioned around from the comments, and this is a similar project that also creates, and I think that is for making the server, the offline server uses Kiwix, but it also has any extra features to show some, for example, OpenStreetMaps and things like that. And the device was actually one can buy it from the Wikipedia, from the official Wikipedia pages, but unfortunately it gets runs out of stock so quickly. Can you go to the next slide, please, and the next one? Yeah, unfortunately, I wanted to share a photo I got with Lane Raspberry on the last Wikimedia conference. I was super happy to share ideas with him, and he was also super happy to share experience to hear experiences from other offline projects around. click again, please. So with this, I want to say to you, thank you very much. In here, I want to present our latest volunteer. I'm super proud of him, Osman Kamara, and that's me, Joshua. And he was the latest volunteer to took an OfflinePedia to his motherland. And as I said before, we look forward for people to replicate this idea, this protocol of going into the rural communities, sharing and motivating the people, installing a device with Kiwix, and then motivating the people to replicate it, because this is the only way we can really connect people and at least make it happen that all of us to at least have access to the main branch of public knowledge that is Wikipedia. So next slide, please. And so this is a favor I want to ask you. Please replicate your idea. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Joshua. It's so interesting and useful to know about such cases. So thank you so much for sharing. And yeah, we are now in the part of general sharings. Maybe you have some questions to the speakers, or sorry, maybe you have some questions to the speakers, or you would like to share your own experience. Please do so in the chat or unmute yourself and feel free to share what you want to share or ask questions.
Hi, can you hear me? This is Shantilal Baragra from UK. Hi. Yeah, I think tools like Kiwix and what Joshua has described is the basis for promoting the sharing of open source knowledge around the globe. And I've been working in this space for the last few years. I'm a retired IT professional, and I started with Rachel, and then a device called Rachel, which runs on Raspberry Pi. And then I got introduced to the team at Internet in a Box. And from then on, I think the whole concept actually develops. A lot of people have done very similar things with Raspberry Pis, Kiwix server, and things like that. I think there is a global community, and if the Wikimedia or Wikipedia Foundation brings all these different people working on the same problem, trying to solve the same problem, but doing it in a different hardware platforms, if all of that can be brought together, I think that'd be a wonderful thing. Because, you know, the concept is very simple. The technology is, again, very accessible. And the key thing is that, you know, organizations like Wikimedia have made it possible to share the knowledge. And I think that's very important. So Joshua, I'll reach out to you and I'll see if I can replicate your solution.
I would be super happy. Thank you.
Yeah, at the end of the day is the cost. So with us, we have lots of old laptops. I mean, in fact, I've got, you know, a 10-year-old laptop on which I can put a desktop and then a desktop like Linux Mint Cinnamon or Linux Mate desktop, and then behind that in the background I can install Internet in a Box. I can give it to a teacher with a projector. So a teacher has basically a laptop that he can use as a productivity tool. He has access to the Internet in a Box server, which has got Kiwix, which has got all any of the Zim files that it's available. You can do TED Talks and all the material. And with a projector, he can basically just walk into a class and he's got a digital library that he can actually share with his students, and he can create his own lessons, and he can then pull any information that he needs from the server. So that's a very powerful a piece of technology that you can carry with you. So thank you, people, for developing all this sort of good stuff, and let's try and collaborate as much as we can. The other thing, Kate, I want to say is that we got a project going in Ukraine. A friend of mine, I got introduced to a person through another charity called Turing Trust in UK, and he brings a lot of computers to Ukraine and is trying to persuade the Ukrainian authorities to adopt internet in a box and take all the local content that is available on the internet and put it down onto an offline server. So one of the tools that we could really exploit is to take what's already available to people who have access to internet generally, and take that content, package it somehow, and then put it offline, because then that way you are actually sharing slices of the internet with the communities that don't have access or don't have the infrastructure to access the real internet. And this is where internet in a box as a technology is very powerful.
That's very
okay. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. I seen you raised hand. Suyash, if I pronounced it right, please.
Yes. Thank you very much. And thank you everyone for this wonderful presentation. And sometime, like as Shanti correctly said, like people are doing wonderful work in different parts of the world. So let me introduce myself. Like, my name is Suyash. I'm from India and having some 25 years experience in electronics product designing. So Joshua, you rightly said, like, one of the main concerns which we like the whole world is facing about the the older technologies kick outs the mobile phones and everything stuff. So uh, yeah, so in my professional capacity, we there is a team in my city, in my country, who works on utilizing the discarded electronics. Especially, we have firstly focused on the unused mobile chargers, like the recently government uh, make the new mobile companies to make their chargers universal, like on Type C. So this make lots of electronic waste. So we tried a lot to utilize in various projects. So by the way, as I'm also developing some internet in a box, but I'm more towards the hardware section, where I have developed a couple of um, inbuilt charging stations, like solar powered internet in a box, because we know that challenges to such remote places is not only the internet, but the power source as well. So yeah, people are doing here, and along with this help of Wiki Club SATI, we are also working on how to get the data, like how much devices we can connect with the internet in a box parallelly, and what's their performances and all. I have also shared a link over here where time to time, whenever I go to any conferences, I try to meet like-minded people to develop more electronics hardware which can support the wiki projects. So yeah, it's hardwares are not only limited to the offline Wikipedia, but I have developed a couple of other hardwares which can help, especially to wiki books, where the scanning is one of the challenges. The other challenge is turning the pages, like if you suppose you have more than 500 pages. So sometimes it becomes really very challenging to keep, you know, so sometimes boring. So rather just develop a device which can automatically turn the pages. And yeah, so there are so many experiments we can do. All we need to gather, as Shanti said, like all the like-minded community at the one place. And yeah, I have just shared the project which I am doing, and uh, like upcoming meetup, especially focused on the Raspberry Pi users, is going to happen during ECF conference, strategy conference in Manila. So if any one of you is participating, I'm more than happy to meet them there. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your sharing. Stefan, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much for presentations. Very interesting. I love those presentations because I get to hear about like projects with my product that I'd never heard about. So it's pretty awesome because it really means it's going all over the place. And I'm really stoked. So thank you for that time. Two things. So the first thing that I wanted to comment on from the early presentation is that you can actually, and it's not known enough, and I think it's partly my fault because I don't publicize it that much, but there's a service that's called Wikipedia on Demand, where basically you can build your own selection on Wikipedia. You just insert a list of categories, and for any language. So it works for English, but for any other language, you can insert a category, a series of categories, or even if you're good enough with Wikidata, you can do your request and say, I would like to have a zip file with all the female presidents from the 20th century, and then Wikidata will pull that out, and then you will have an actual zip file that you can circulate. So if you obviously, well, I'm sure that people are totally stoked about like female presidents from the 20th century, but more importantly, if you want to have a selection that it fits a curriculum, for instance, a school curriculum, rather than having the whole Wikipedia, you can simply get that selection that fits the curriculum, and that's pretty neat. I'll put the link in the chat for people that want to try and play with it. The other thing is that a neat trick, it's true that the files are pretty big and hard to download from the app. So a neat trick to do is actually use torrents. So either you download directly from the app, and if there's a problem with your connection, then you're screwed and you need to restart from scratch. Now, if you go to library.kiwix.org, you will see all of the, actually now it's browse.library.kiwix.org, but you will see there's a torrent link. So for those that don't know how a torrent works, it basically breaks down a file into small chunks, and everyone who has a chunk or has the entire file can participate and send it to you. And the software will get those chunks one by one. And if the connection stops, it doesn't matter because it will recognize that it only has part of the file, and it will restart where it stopped. Not from the beginning, but it will restart where it stopped. So it's actually very resilient if you want to download over several days or several sessions. You spend 2 hours at one place with internet, you download it. And one of the plans we have is actually to integrate torrent downloads directly into the app, so that people don't have to wonder whether like they'll have enough internet or enough time or enough bandwidth to download. And the third thing that is very important, I'm putting the link to library. The third thing that is very important, at least for me, is that I need your feedback as to what kind of content it is that you guys need. So we do all the Wikipedias. It was shown we do subsets. We took the ones that made sense, so history, geography, football, whatever. We're actually making a subset, and there will be a custom app, like a downloadable offline Android Wiki Voyage app for Wikimedia in Kenya. So that's the plan. Because using that Wikipedia on demand thing, we just downloaded all the Kenya articles, Kenya-related articles. We can package it into a zip file, put them onto an Android app, and then you would download it you would like download Kiwix, but it's actually Wiki Voyage for Kenya. And we can do it for any single website, I would like to say. And that was one of the questions I had and why I was here today, because in the context of Ukraine and actually other places, Wikipedia is cool, but there's probably some other things that can be pretty useful. I'll give you an example. In Bangladesh, they're working on improving the Wiktionary, and people, they don't, you go to Kiwix, you get that huge library of content, and you never know which one to pick. And they figured out that having people being able to download the Bangla dictionary in and of itself as a single app was much more efficient in terms of access and user feedback, if you want, user accessibility, in the sense that more people would be willing to look for a dictionary and download the dictionary than download Kiwix and then figure out where the dictionary is. But there's plenty of cases where you would want to have actually that kind of like very special content onto an app. And we can do this very easily. Dictionaries are where we started. We also have a German dictionary, but we could do it with like YouTube videos. For instance, if you need like first emergency medicine, we could make an app for that. But we need to have that kind of feedback where people tell us, okay, this is a resource. I would like to have it available offline. And can you make an app with it? And in that case, just reach out to us. Or we can just add it to library. It doesn't need to be an app. Maybe you're like, okay, I'm going to schools. I'm going to train them with Wikipedia. However, it would be nice if we had that thing. In Ghana, we have a zip file that's called BECE, Past Questions, which is the collection of past questions from the previous A-level exams. I think it's called A-levels. Anyone, Nadine, I believe you're from Ghana. Correct me if it's not called A-levels, but you see what I mean. You can always have like, it's better to have like a range of resources around the topic than just one resource that does touch the topic, but not only. So do reach out to us, hello@kiwix.org, and or open directly if you're familiar with that. You can open a request on GitHub. I'll put also the link in the chat. But essentially, what I want you guys to come away with is like reach out to us and tell us what you need. Christmas is still like a few months away, so it's a good time to start planning. And if you're in Wikimedia, if any of you is coming to Wikimedia, do hit me up because I'll be there. And part of my reason for being there is because I want to talk to you. So say hi, Stefan at Kiwix, by the way. I'll put it there as well. And I'm done. So next.
Thank you so much for your sharing. It's really valuable. Do we have more questions or experience sharing?
I think that I will ask one question myself that I read from the audience. This is something that I haven't tried, but I'm very interested in trying. And this is a question for you, Stefan. Is it possible to package incubator projects?
No, sadly, no. We cannot reach incubator. I don't remember why it is, but there's some sort of technical limitation. I mean, we could probably, but it would take some extra work. And if the use case makes sense, yes, we can work on it, but that's not off-the-shelf solution.
Yeah, I can imagine it's not highly priority. It's not a high priority, but yeah, thank you very much.
Any more questions? Do we have some unanswered questions in the chat to the speakers or in general?
I see lots of people mentioning they'll be at Wikimedia, so do hit me up. It will be actually very offline themed. They reached out to us and others so that it's very central to the whole discussions happening there. But I'll be around, so you see my face. 50 years old man with a beard. There won't be too many. Oh well, actually there will be plenty. But you'll find me. I don't worry. I think there's a link I was supposed to add, and I forgot which one it was.
Oh, the Git pull requests. Yeah, to get issues in. So yeah, maybe a few words I want to share at the end. So you guys, if you have more questions or you would like to get more information about how we are doing this, we have social media handles on all the social media platforms. OfflinePedia. There is also the webpage that we just built, offlinepedia.org. And also with my name, I'm super easy to find. You can just Google my name and reach me out. And I would be super happy to share experiences and talk about this and make it work in your place.
Thank you.
Sorry, similarly, if anybody wants to reach out, I'll be happy to share my experience with Internet in a Box server. So, you know, again, drop me an email, or I'll be happy to share my experience and share my technical knowledge in building this stuff.
So many great opportunities during this webinar. That's great. Yeah, if you still have some questions, just text in the chat, or it's like the last minute to unmute yourself. If not, thank you so much for being here, for listening to our speakers, and thank you so much to our speakers, Kate and Joshua, for presenting. And of course, we will send all the materials after this webinar, so we will receive the recording of this webinar, and maybe we can try to combine all the useful links that were sent in the chat just in one place. Let me know if it's a good option, then we'll send it as well. And just the last thing that I would like just to briefly promote, you can please join our campaign. It's called Ukraine's Cultural Diplomacy Month, and this is a writing contest with the aim to create and improve articles about Ukraine and its culture in as many languages edition in Wikipedia as possible. So we proposed a list of articles, or you can choose your own, and the most active participants will receive prizes. You can find the page by this QR code. Go and check more information, and this campaign will last until 16th of May. So approximately 1 week left to join. And yeah, if you're interested in writing and improving articles, and especially about Ukraine, this campaign is for you. So again, thank you so much, and have a nice day, everyone. Thank you to the speakers and to our guests.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining.
Thank you. And you already made my day, guys. Thank you all.
Same here.